Theory of mind is described as the role of understanding others' minds in human social life. Humans need to understand minds and engage in the kinds of complex interactions that social communities require. Some social interactions that rely on theory of mind would be teaching others, learning from others, sharing experiences with other people, and collaborating. Theory of mind can be more easily understood when looking at people who struggle, such as those with autism. Many people with autism express that theory of mind is like missing the automatic processing of people information. They perceive others in a more analytical way, which can often be tiresome and slow, compared to those who don't struggle with autism, who can automatically look at a person and process in some way what that person is doing, thinking, or feeling. Theory of mind is not a single thing, however. It is a toolbox for many different but related tasks in the social world. This toolbox is made up of identifying agents, recognizing goals, assessing intentionality. It's made up of imitation, mimicry, and automatic empathy. It's made up of joint attention and visual perspective taking. It's made up of projection and simulation. And finally, the top state inference. Each of those make up a level. It's known that some animals, like monkeys, have the basics of identifying agents, recognizing goals, and assessing intentionality, while chimpanzees, who are a little bit more evolved, have the ability of imitation, mimicry, and automatic empathy. But humans are the only ones known to experience everything above that, from joint attention to mental state inference. The agent category allows humans to identify moving objects in the world that can act on their own. Imitation is the human tendency to carefully observe others' behaviors and do as they do, such as when a child sees their mother making a phone call, and so then they use a play phone to pretend to make a phone call too. Joint attention is when humans are capable of actively engaging. One person looks at another, okay, that person is angry, so we're going to interact with them based on that knowledge. Projection is when humans are able to imagine what it might be like to be in another person's psychological position. For example, when you see someone who experiences a loss and you understand, oh, that could be really hurt, like that could make me really sad. I can imagine that person is grieving, they're mourning. You're taking that on, you're able to really understand that by imagining what it might be like for them. Finally, the explicit mental state inference integrates multiple lines of information. It's the ability to truly take another person's perspective. It makes use of a variety of info, from stored knowledge to perceived facts of the concrete situation. This is difficult for children before 4 years old. They haven't quite gathered enough known information, and they're not quite able to store those facts or perceive those facts accurately yet. It does take some cognitive effort in adults, so it may be more difficult for people who are experiencing cognitive issues. People are good at automatically relating to other people, but they need to recognize when to step out of their own perspective and truly represent the other person's perspective, which is to say that humans are great at looking at another person and saying, oh, I know how I would feel if, I lost someone. So that must be how that person is feeling. But explicit mental state inference is the ability to leave our own perspective out of it, is to look at a situation and say, okay, yes, that's how I would feel, but based on the knowledge I have of this person, this is how they would feel. So it's that ability to take our own perspective and put it aside and truly represent the other person's perspective based on the facts we know about that person. Now, all of these things make up the theory of mind. So it's not one concrete thing. It's a toolbox that people use every day in order to make inferences about what's going on in a situation. It's used when someone goes to pay at a cashier, we know that that person is paying because we are using the facts that we know about that situation. We know that the cashier is there to take the money. The person behind the person on the other side of the register is giving the money. We know that based on theory of mind. We're making deductions. And we're using these tools in order to do that. Theory of mind